Hey guys, it's Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today's video is what I read in September and what I want to read in October. I will be doing a reading vlog for the whole month of October. So if the books I'm going to tell you that I'm going to read are interesting to you, you may want to watch that. Alright, so first of all, what I read in September, I read I think 8 books in September. I started by finishing the Cruel Prince series, so I read The Wicked King and Queen of Nothing. Cruel Prince series is by Holly Black. It's one of my comfort series, alongside The Selection by Kiera Cass. I love this universe. It's a fantasy. They also talk about politics. It's mostly about this girl named Jude, who is a human in this fantasy world. How could I say that? So she wants to be a knight. She wants to be known in the court as something else than just a human that lives there. And yeah, it's also an enemies to lovers between her and the youngest prince called Carden Greenbrier. So yeah, I really enjoy these books. It's the second time I read them this year, I think. Yeah, it's just very cute, very sweet, and honestly, I love enemies to lovers books, as you will see. So I just really liked it. After this, I decided to read this little baby right here called The Song's Not For You by Laura Nowlin. It is about polyamory and it's coming of age. It's also about sexuality because there's an asexual character. Yeah, it's super cute. So we have Ramona and Sam, who have been friends for a couple of years, and they have a band together. One day they meet Tom. Tom is also into music, and they decide to be together in the band. Ramona has had a crush on Sam for the longest time, and he also has a crush on her, but they both didn't want to ruin the friendship. And then Ramona also starts having a crush on Tom, and you know, he likes her too. They start dating, and instead of being a love triangle, it eases itself into polyamory just very naturally, how polyamory actually goes in real life. You don't force it, it just happens. And yeah, I nearly cried a couple of times reading it. It's just so sweet. A good little book, honestly. It's just amazing. Also, next up, I read the infamous Hating Game. It's an enemies to lovers, kinda, mostly. It's about Lucy and Joshua, who both work in the same office, face to face to each other, and yeah, they're enemies. And how could I say that? Yeah, she's the person who wants to make everyone happy and love her, and he's the person who doesn't. So yeah, she also realizes she kind of has a crush on him, but she doesn't know if it's a crush. And in here we have some sick and nurse back to life trope. Well, nursed back, not nurse back to life. We have a fake wedding date. We have enemies to lovers. It's just very nice, very sweet. I read a lot of rom-coms the past month, and honestly, I loved most of them. So that's a good one. Next up, we have the infamous We Were Liars. Now, I did not love this. It was alright. I thought it was too slow-paced, but also sometimes too fast-paced. I just thought it was not consistent. I would have given it a 2 stars, but I gave it 3 stars because of the plot twist. That last chapter that last part called The Truth It is something. It hurts. It's about Cadence, who is this girl from a rich known family. It's called the Sinclair. This family is just known for having beautiful things and having money, basically. This family go and vacation on an island every summer, the whole family. So there's her mother, or two aunts, their kids, so her as her grandparents and the dogs. In summer 15, she had an accident which left her with some memory lost. And throughout the book, she will go and get her memories back until the truth, which is what happened during that summer. Now, as I said, it was okay. The plot twist really made it up for the rest of it that was just like, you know. Next up, we have The Wedding Date by Jasmine Geary. It is a chubby black main character. You don't see that a lot, you know, and it's not only like, oh, they talk about it once and that's it. They really go and like, they raise racism in this multiple time. Like it's hidden in the rom-com scenario. It is about Alexa and Drew. They meet on an elevator right before Drew has to go to the wedding of his ex, I think? Is it? I think it's his ex's wedding. I don't remember if it's this one or in another book. It's his ex's wedding. I could be completely wrong. Anyways, he's the best man to that wedding, and his date canceled on him last minute. So when they are stuck in this elevator together, he asked her if she wants to be his date in the wedding in 2 days, and she says yes. From there is a romance developing. It is very sweet. It is very good. On the ex, it's his ex's wedding, and they get to know each other. I love it. They form a relationship, and they both think, okay, that's for the weekend, but it goes further than that. It's just great. Loved it. Another rom-com. Another rom-com, The Unhoneymooners. There is a enemies to lovers in this. Basically, Olive goes to her twin sister's, Amy's, wedding, and Amy's getting married to Dane, and Dane's brother is Ethan. Ethan and Olive hate each other's guts. She can't be around him. But her sister is getting married to his brother, so she goes to the wedding, of course. And at this wedding, everyone except Ethan and Olive gets food poisoning from like the buffet, and they had like something else. So the honeymoon is already planned, and they cannot budget. So Olive and Ethan go together to not lose it. There is some fake dating in there, because of course they're supposed to be a couple on honeymoon, you know, newlyweds. There is the travel. There is Dane, who is a fucking bitch. It was just very sweet, very good, and just, yeah. Even though I already knew like kind of how the book was going to be made, if you want, because I've read some of Christina Lauren's, I read some of their books before, so I knew like how it was going to be sectioned because I've realized all of their books is like that. But still, even though I knew more or less how it was going to be, I loved it. It was great. Last but not least that I read in September is People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. Now, it was good, but my ADHD couldn't follow because how it is made is there's stories from the past 12 summers, and they're not like from 12 summers ago up to this summer. It's like 12 summers ago, this summer, 10, this summer, 5. I had trouble following. Anyways, this is about Alex and Poppy, who have been friends for 12 years, and every summer they take a summer trip. Now, 2 years ago, they stopped talking because of an incident that happened on one of these trips. I'm going to tell you how they say it here. Like, 2 best friends, 10 summer trips, 1 last chance to fall in love. Because that is like the last summer trip they're going to take together. And yeah, it's friends to lovers. There is 2 nursing back, like sick and nursed scenes in there. Yeah, it was just very lovely. But again, my attention span could not deal with the jumping between the summers. But it was still good. This summer parts were my favorite parts. Because you can see like they have all this baggage together. I don't know, it was just very nice. Now, what do I want to read in October? My selection is not especially thriller and mystery and whatever, but still kind of in that sense. You're gonna see. For example, this is the one I started today. It is Stalking Jack the Ripper. There's Audrey Rose, whose mother died when she was younger, and since then she just wants to know how death works. But it's in 1888, so she cannot do that. Except her uncle is a forensic expert, so she goes and intern with him, where she meets Thomas, who also interns with him. But this is also during the Jack the Ripper murders. And she sees the victims, and she conducts her little detective work. Yeah. But also, like, that's all I can tell you for now, but what's written on the back is, he murdered women in cold blood. He terrorized an entire city. He counted those of us who hunted him down. But despite all these horrors, Indiana could not deny it. I was the girl who loved the Ripper. Like, the fuck? Like, I'm not far in there. And, like, what? Anyways, I have the rest of the Stalking the Ripper series, which is Escaping from Houdini. Is it? No, that's the third one. The second one is Hunting Prince Dracula. It says, a man impaled by a sharp wooden stake, a young timberman drained from all her blood. They say it's Prince Dracula, arisen from the dead. I say it's the living, not the dead, we should fear the most. Then third one is Escaping from Houdini, which right here it says, it was both glorious and terrifying, holding someone's life in my hands. Sure and steady with my scalpel, I had the power to end it with a swift flick of the blade. The power to end him. And then we have Capturing the Devil. And on the back here, the tagline reads, he once said the devil was within him, and stayed all his wicked life. No one knows how many lives he's taking, but I'm certain one of our stories will end in hell. I know there's a 5th book, which is a Stalking the Ripper novel, but it's not like absolutely after that. It's Becoming the Devil, which is about Thomas. It's one that you don't have to read, but you can read if you want more on the series, I guess, from my understanding. Next up, I have the Inheritance Game series. So Inheritance Game and Offering Legacy. So here it says secret passages, elaborate riddles, billions at stakes. So Avery just inherits billions from, what's his name, Tobias Offern. She doesn't know him, and there's one condition so she can have that money, and it is that she lives in his mansion. But there is I think it's four grandsons that are already there, and no one understands why she gets the money. There's riddles and stuff like that, and yeah, I just thought it would be great for Halloween. So I have the second one right here also. Then, I know it's a lot of books. I'm probably not going to read all of that this month, but I still, like to be prepared. Then I have the Caraval series. So there's Caraval, Legendary, and Finally. And let's just look at these. They're just so beautiful. Anyways, Caraval, on the back, it says, Admit 1, to be used once to gain entrance into Caraval. Main gates close at midnight. Anyone who arrives later than this will not be able to participate or win this game's prize of one wish. So apparently it's competition, there's love, there's sisterhood. Yeah. And there's 3 of them. This is by Stephanie Garber. Oh, I didn't tell you what the books were. Inheritance Game series is by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and Stalking Jack the Ripper series is by Carrie Maniscalco. And next, I have These Violence Delight. I didn't put the dust jacket back on because it was just beautiful, but this is the dust jacket for it, which is a 1920s Shanghai retelling of Romeo and Juliet. I don't know why, I just thought it would fit October or November. Last but not least, we have Monster by Cynthia Everdeen. It is an adult fiction, and it is there's the daughter of the mafia boss, which is Savannah, which is our main character. She falls in love with Jonas, who is a bad boy. He is a club owner, and from what I remember, he is a pimp. When I say from what I remember, it's my best friend who told me a lot about this book in like 5 minutes. We both have ADHD. It's just scrambled brains understand each other. So I'm trying to remember some of that. If you're going to read this, please look the trigger warnings beforehand. She said it's a very, very gore, like there's very gore stuff in there, and I know there's also sexual assault in here. So please go look up the trigger warnings if you ever want to read that. So that's it. That's what I read in September and what I will read in October. Hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you guys next time.